What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is your boy Maj. Today, we're going to be talking about a wide receiver that wants out of the Arizona Cardinals, and his name is DeAndre Hopkins, a top, or maybe you can consider him to be a top wide receiver, but now I don't really know. I don't know. But we're going to be talking about, is he going to get traded? Is he not going to get traded? And we'll just have to see. But personally, the Cardinals are going to have trouble trying to trade DeAndre Hopkins. I'm sorry if you're a Cardinals fan. I'm sorry if you're any other fan and you really want DeAndre Hopkins, maybe like the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm being straight up with you. I think he's going to be an Arizona Cardinal. I don't think he's going to get traded. To be honest, if he goes to any team, these are the things that you have to be prepared for, because just you guys will see. I'm going to go over these points here. Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, do all that stuff. But let's get into these points. So, guys, I wrote these on my MacBook, and first point is he's hurt a lot. He's played 19 of the 34 games the last 2 seasons, which is terrible. That's unacceptable from a top wide receiver in the league. Unacceptable. After showing a lot of fight and battling through a series of injuries to miss just 2 games over his first 8 seasons as a pro, that's a really good stat. But that was a long time ago. We're talking about right now. We're talking about the DeAndre Hopkins right now, right? And to add to that mileage of 853 career catches, it's hard to imagine that he's going to do this in 2023. He's not. He's straight up not going to do that. And this is a huge point of why I don't think teams are going to sign him, because of the fact that the guy is always injured. He's always DeAndre Hopkins is always injured. It's actually impressive how much he's injured. It's kind of impressive. The injury issue also has limited Hopkins severely. It's been so bad when it comes to his ability to practice during the week. The guy can't even practice. So you're basically getting a 90-year-old DeAndre Hopkins, a guy that can't run but maybe can catch the ball. It's not good. If you have a strong veteran roster, that's one, which the Cardinals do not have that, you can manage that. But if you're a younger team or you haven't won yet, it's hard to have one of your best players missing during long stretches of practice weeks, both from a functional and cultural standpoint. So this is already so bad. The injuries, and in practicing, he didn't practice. His injuries played a huge toll. These are 2 things that I just think are going to weigh down on DeAndre Hopkins' trade value. I think his trade value is not good because of these points. Now, he's due $19.45 million in cash next year and $14.92 million in 2024. And that's assuming he wouldn't use a trade to try to leverage more cash off the team dealing for him. Hopkins has a no trade clause in his contract with my English is not good right now. Also, he has a $19.45 million in cash next year and a $14.92 million in 2024. And that's assuming he wouldn't use a trade to try to leverage more cash off the team dealing for him. Hopkins has a no trade clause in his contract with which he could play that game. So you're paying a ton of money for a beaten up wide receiver. I'm going to be shocked if I see DeAndre Hopkins in a different jersey next year. I will be shocked, because you have to pray that he doesn't get injured. If he doesn't get injured, go for DeAndre Hopkins. You're getting a top receiver. DeAndre Hopkins is a great receiver, great route runner, great catcher. You're getting a good wide receiver. But if you're getting an injured DeAndre Hopkins, you might as well just get 40-year-old T.Y. Hilton in there, because that's basically what they're like. I'm being honest with you. Even if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, you do not want DeAndre Hopkins. He's so injury prone. The guy will play 5 games for you, then be out for the season. And then who are you guys going to have at backup? Might as well put Ezekiel Elliott as a wide receiver. He'll be 31 years old on opening day. On the surface, that doesn't seem on the surface that doesn't seem disqualifying for a receiver. But that's how old AJ Green was when he went from Cincinnati to Arizona, and he's just had 78 catches for 1,084 yards and 5 touchdowns in 31 games since. And Julio Jones was 31 for his last year in Atlanta, which is when the injury started to take toll on his production. He has just 106 catches over the last 3 years, that one included. Now, imagine Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins were not even in the same conversation. I'm sorry, but Julio Jones was probably, if not the best wide receiver in the league when he was at the Atlanta Falcons. And now you're going to add DeAndre Hopkins into this talk. If you had a 31-year-old DeAndre Hopkins or a 31-year-old Julio Jones, you're going to pick 31 Julio Jones any day of the week. This is why I don't understand why teams want DeAndre Hopkins, because the guy is old. He's too old. He is too old. He's at this point in his career right now where DeAndre Hopkins is just a guy that you just toss in for some plays. But you're gonna be paying $19 million for a guy that you just toss in? No. So add that up, and I think it's going to be hard for Austin Fort to get a great value for Hopkins, maybe even to the point where keeping him is a better idea than dealing him. As it stands right now, if I had to ballpark it, I'd say a day 2 pick would be what Arizona would get in return in a trade. So I think DeAndre Hopkins, if you're an NFL team, you don't trade for him. But we'll see what happens with Hopkins. I think his trade value is, I don't think it's good. But it'll be fun to see where he ends up. Make sure you guys drop a like, hit that subscribe button. It's your boy Maj, and I'm out, man. Peace.